Hello and welcome back to Automation and beamng.drive. Today we are making a 1989 heavy-duty pickup truck. It needs to be able to do heavy-duty towing, needs to carry lots of weight in the back, and yeah, let's get started. It is going to be a steel body panel with a steel light truck monocoque. It's going to be front longitudinal with McPherson strut in the front and solid axle leaf in the rear. As for the engine, we are going to want something big and meaty. So probably can't get a V16 into budget. V10, it's not too big. It's not too meaty, really. Like, I don't even think with beam sounds that you can make it meaty. So we're actually going to be going with a truck engine, diesel engine, because why not? It is going to be cast iron pushrod and cast iron with all of the bore, all of the stroke, 6 litre, perfect. It is going to have a forged steel crank, a heavy-duty forged conrod and forged pistons. It is going to have a harmonic damper, but we're going to reduce it to 25. It is going to be turbocharged because it's legally required to be. It is going to have 34 psi of boost because I said so. It is going to have multi-point EFI per cylinder on a standard mid-manifold. Now, for the fuel, not entirely too sure. Let me think of something real quick. Could go LPG. I'm not sure how happy people are going to be about that though. So I think I'll just go E85, because why not? Like, I want this to be diesel, sure, but there's no diesels in game, so I'm just going to do E85 because, everyone else has the option for E85. It's the 90s, well, 89. Everyone's probably going to be making something American, so why not just make it a E85? Yes, probably need some exhaust. Oh dear, that's an issue. I'll fix these issues and I'll be right back with the completed engine. Okay, to get it into any sort of runnable state, I've had to reduce the turbo pressure down to 20 psi, which is fine. We're making 520 horsepower. Turbo kicks in around 2,500 RPM. Pretty good. Let's listen to how it sounds. Quiet as a mouse. It's fine. We can do some beamng wizardry, and we can make it sound nice. Now, rules state, model year, 1989. Doesn't say anything about trim year now, does it? I want a 5-speed. Technically it doesn't say anything about, tech pool, but whatever. We'll do it this way. We're going to be going a radial utility tire. We're going to increase the width to about 225, pretty reasonable. Up the diameter to 800, make it 17-inch rims. We are going to be going with vented disc on the front, drums on the rear. It is going to have a fully clad under tray because I like fuel efficiency. Standard interior with a standard cassette player. It is going to have manual rack and pinion steering as well as just regular ABS. It is going to have standard 90s safety, as well as progressive springs, gas monotube dampers, and passive sway bars. Now we're just going to slap on a utility preset for now. Let's get to tuning and designing the car. Breaking news! Did you know that only 10% of viewers are subscribed? That's right. If you're a part of the 90%, could you please like, comment, and subscribe on this video? It will help me out a bunch. Good night. And so, here we are in beamng.drive with the Evergreen Motors Clumbo. Don't know why it's called the Clumbo. I recorded automation 6 weeks, no, not 6 weeks ago, goodness, 1 week ago, so I've got no clue what I did. But yeah, so this thing has a 6-litre inline 6, designed basically to be a bus engine. So it's got diesel sounds, big boost turbo, I mean it's only 1.4 bar, but not bad, very torquey. It's got 6-speed manual transmission with high and low ranges, as well as a 4-wheel drive system. It has manual locking front and rear differentials. It seems to be quite good at a hill climb. Very grippy. Must be the all-terrains I threw on there. And yeah, so this thing is going to be for a special video next. Next video is going to be a special one. Can't get into too many details because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but yeah, we've got a, as you can see in there, working steering wheel. Not too hard of a mod to do, so I'm aiming to do it on every vehicle I make, especially just because I want to continue being used to Blender. Maybe I could even make some more fancier mods than just a steering wheel. Doing very well so far, and yeah, next, say we're going to do a towing test where we are going to see not only how much this thing can tow. Wow, that was a breeze for this thing. Yeah, so we're going to see how much it can tow, as well as what its gradient is for how well it can go uphill. So, as for the towing, we are going to be going up these 3 gradients with 2,100 kilos of weight in the trailer. I did do some testing before recording, and I had to fix the oh goodness. That didn't happen in my testing. There we go. I don't know what these 3 gradients are, but they should be pretty decent. We're not going to be using low range, and we're not going to be using the diff locks. Oh! Okay, I'm a silly, I'm at the wrong end. Why did it spawn me up there then? So yeah, we're going to be testing how well it can handle these 3 gradients, as well as its stopping potential down the 3 of them. Maybe we'll go off that ramp at some point, who knows. And yeah, just gonna see just how well it can do in terms of towing capacity. So up this first gradient here, bit bouncy on the rear, leaf spring suspension putting in its work, and we are going to see how well it can do. Very minuscule amount of wheel spin, but it is able to do it and do it well. On to the downhill now. We are going to be going at the top of first, so 50 kilometers an hour, and we are going to brake, and it does pretty well. Like, I was applying full brakes, so you'd hope for a little bit better, especially since you either really want to do full braking in an emergency. But it does slow the car down, and that's all that really matters. Hopefully we won't need to use low gear for the final one. Still a bit bouncy. Bit more wheel spin, but it's able to do it. A little bit of clutch kicking. It cannot withstand this degree of incline. Let's switch her over to low gear and see if it can handle it. It can! No wheel spin either. That is amazing. Not expecting this time to go as well as it did before. Full brake, little bit of locking. If you know how to drive it, it is plenty safe to have 2-ton towing capacity, which is pretty good. Wouldn't recommend having anything in the tray, you know, just on the trailer, but it handles it pretty well. Bit loose connection there, but whatever. Down into low gear, let's see what sort of start we can get. No wheel spin. Oh goodness, I've given it wheel spin. Made a mistake. Yes, I've given this thing custom engine sounds, if I didn't mention that already. I didn't use the bus, but I probably would have used just the generic inline 6 diesel. Handled it pretty well. So, onto the downhill now. Up to 50 kilometers an hour, full braking force. It's not going to stop before we reach the bottom. Yeah, so wouldn't recommend that steep of an incline, but I don't think I know a single road near me that has that sort of incline. Like, definitely the level 3 there, which is the second one we did, but not so certain about level 4. So, up next, we're going to be doing a circuit rally race. And to do said circuit rally race, we are going to be doing the Bajarama circuit. Should be pretty good. Very grippy. Likes to drift through the corners, which is very nice. Very controllable. Ooh. Gotta make sure you don't overspeed into the corners, otherwise you will just run wide. Like this. Ooh, goodness. Don't break an axle. Typically with cars with widened track width, they like to have very weak axles. So yeah, I've broken the rear axle, but I more meant the wheels coming off their connections. Which, you know, not ideal, especially at high speeds like we are doing. But very controllable. I'm genuinely surprised it has so much grip on road and off-road. Because in the past when I've done all-terrains, they've just had awful grip on road. Uprights itself too, that's excellent. But yeah, they've just had no grip on tarmac, which this thing hasn't had said issue, which is very nice. Ooh, not how you want to take that corner. Yeah. Also gave it a custom turbo flutter sound. So not as much of a st-t-t as I want, but still pretty nice. Especially off-road. Handles the jumps like a champion, except for the fact it's a wee bit brokey. Does off-road amazingly though. If you want to see a Baja version of this, definitely let me know down below in the comments. And maybe I'll have figured out how to fix that issue by then. Let's just give her a quick reset and get back to the course. And yeah, loving this thing. Ooh, not loving that though. That can go away. Come on. Helps if you put it into gear. There we go. And yeah, interior, not very detailed. Middle seat doesn't get a lap belt. You know, the way it should be. Totally. And yeah, I think next we're going to do some drag strip, which this map so kindly provides in the form of an airstrip. Not entirely sure how long it is, probably a kilometer, and let's get out our performance timers. With our performance timer up and ready, we are going to go ahead and start. With a 0 to 100 time of 3.5 seconds, that's pretty bloody good. Can't exactly time the drag, but I'm sure I can do something in post, tell you what time I got and how fast I was at the finish line. And to send us off for the evening, as we always do, we are going to go down the car jump arena. hopefully this thing will set a decent distance. Nearly maxing out. That's very impressive. Thinking maybe... Yeah, no, I wasn't going to guess that. Goodness me, this thing flies! That was like 440. Pretty bloody good. And yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time. Good night. How does Jeremy Clarkson do it? I've got no idea.